Fair warning, I've just stepped onto my high horse, and I am about to prove why it is so important that we put an effort into looking a certain way. Obviously, that's different for everyone, but humans tend to reward a certain set of ratios as beautiful, and we can't all have those. Pretty sure Eve screwed that up in the Garden of Eden. Otherwise, we'd all be perfect. Thanks, Eve. But we can all put forth enough effort that we look like we can gain immediate authority. Authority is interesting. We assign it to people without ever reading their resume, without knowing anything about them. We assign it to people before they even open their mouths. So what does it take to win this immediate authority? You tell me. How much authority are you assigning to me right now just because I am confident enough to create my own TikToks? How many of you have taken away any authority you might have given me because I'm not pinning my hair back? Everyone assigns it differently, but typically, I would just make the argument that when you appear confident, other people assign you authority. All you have to do is appear confident. You don't actually have to be confident. If someone's wearing a lab coat, sometimes that's enough for us to assign them authority. Or scrubs. How many times have you seen somebody in the grocery store wearing scrubs and you immediately assume they're a doctor? Generally, we assign authority to people based on how they look before we even realize that it's happened in our mind. So what is that look? Like, what is it? And is it standard? Kind of, I think. These are just my opinions, okay? If you've assigned me too much authority, you're going to be very angry about my assumptions. Like, it's just what I think. But if you're assigning me too much authority, then you're going to have some cognitive dissonance and it's going to really upset you. These are just my opinions. But I have observed, and I have decades of experience observing where people tend to gain that authority. And it is by a face that is free from distractions. The first steps in getting a face free of distractions is to make sure that you are exfoliating and hydrating your skin effectively. Your skin is your best asset, and you may not like your skin very much, but the way that you take care of it sends a message to people way before you even talk to them. And if you can't fix your skin, you can at the very least use some makeup or products to distract from problematic skin. And of course, none of this is necessary if you don't want anyone's authority. But those people who claim they don't want anyone's authority are typically the ones that are really angry at the world for being treated so unfairly. When you go to advocate for your children at their school, when you go to argue with the cashier at Walmart because they shortchanged you or something wasn't priced correctly, you're going to wish that they would take you seriously. You've heard the thing about first impressions are everything, right? First impressions are so everything that they can actually earn you quite a few free mistakes. When you appear well kept, clean, shoulders back, hair washed, and managed in some way, you immediately send a signal to other people that you expect to be treated a certain way. And in this world, we get what we expect. So what is the point of this ridiculous diatribe that I am going on and on about? It's really just to convince you that you're worth it. That your worth is determined by you, nobody else, not your education, simply by you. And sometimes you can even fool yourself into believing that you are beautiful, worthy, intelligent, and you can assign that authority to yourself, and everyone else will simply believe you when you walk around with your shoulders back, your hair brushed, and your face clean. And for those of you that are thinking, who on earth is walking around without their hair brushed? I'm not talking to you. They're out there. Mamas, listen to me. Over 50, over 40, over 60, and you have completely lost sight of yourself. You don't even have a hobby for yourself anymore. If I asked you what you're passionate about in this world, you couldn't give me an answer. You're who I'm talking to. You're worth it. Why can't I ever hit that dot? I'm also suggesting that we be really careful about who we assign authority to. And before you give me any more than you already have, if you're still listening, you've given me some authority, right? You're hanging in there. You should know I question everything. And someone's education means to me. Someone's experience means a lot. Okay? So a OBGYN who has been trained in a very narrow curriculum versus 100 uneducated moms with 3 kids each, I'm going to go with the moms. I'm not hating on doctors. There's plenty of them out there that seek intelligence outside of the curriculum they were taught. So if you haven't broken up with me yet and you're curious how I got where I am in this line of thinking, I would love to tell you a little bit more about my story because I know that it can unlock chains for other people. So I'm going to go live next Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Central right here on TikTok.